like to be in this red carpet? Would you be courageous enough to be here? So this is the TED Ed. This is the TED for education, where students explore, they discover, and they study deeply a topic, and they are here to spread it with you.
What you guys are going to see here today is our students talking about their personal interests, their own ideas that they developed by themselves. Everything here, they did it. Just with our help, because Maple Bear provided them the tools, but they created everything by themselves. Their ideas, they learned how to research for reliable information, they practiced, they did everything alone. But more important than their talks, their ideas, because TED is about spreading interesting ideas, you guys are going to see here 13 teenagers being brave. Because what they're going to do here, I think that many adults, even some ones that are here, that are not able to do. They are completely out their comfort zones. Completely out. They're speaking in public. And not just any public, you guys, their families, the most important people in their lives, their best friends as well. So it's completely difficult, super difficult to do this, and they are being brave. So today I would like to invite you guys to celebrate what they're doing here. Because doing this process and being here is developing their emotional intelligence, their soft skills, things that we adults know it's going to be important for them during their whole lives. So let's celebrate this night because you're being super brave. So applaud and show them how proud you guys are, because we, as the school, we are completely proud of them. And thank you, families, for trusting us, Maple Bear, to be part of your kids' journeys, okay?
Hello guys, my name is Ana Luisa, and today I'm going to talk about anxiety. I decided to talk about anxiety because one day I see one of my friends feeling really bad for many reasons. But today it's not important why she wasn't feeling okay. Anxiety is a natural feeling. Everyone feeling anxiety. So, when we are talking about teenagers, the things get even more dangerous. Why? Because we are teenagers going many changes, like body changes, physical changes, mental changes, body changes, and goals, hopes, and dreams. So, here I go to present symptoms to anxiety. One of the symptoms is headache, inexperience, short of breath, have difficulty to focus, and have difficulty to sleep and wake up, and getting so angry. So if you not see like similar this and your these anxiety. So now I'm going to present again the things you can do for help your kids. The first thing is pay attention in your kids, or talking to your son or your daughter and ask how your day and how she's feeling. So the second thing is keep track what your kid doing online. And the next thing is have the quality time with them. So this is my TED about anxiety effects in teenagers. Thank you for watching.
Why changes can be good. Hello, my name is Sophia. I'm 11 years old, and today I came to talk about changes. In my other school, I live at my best moments, I meet my best friends, incredible teachers, and sometimes bad moments, but it's a history for another TED. But in year 6, that changed a bit. I meet my personality and my school. And every time I asked me, why changes happen if I didn't want to change? And the answer was simple. Changes are part in your life. Changes help you for learn from your mistakes, learn about yourself, adapt for other people's positive results, and accept yourself. You meet new people can be good and changes too. When you pass for chance, you feel different emotions. For example, happiness, sadness, and sometimes anger. It's normal. Oh, just relax. But there one thing that will never change. Like the love you have for your family, like I have for my grandmas. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Camila, and today I'm going to show you all the intricate workings between the human brain and its relation to language learning. Today, I'm also going to explain the connections between these two topics that I mentioned. I think that the key point for choosing this theme was that one day I was at school, and I studied in a bilingual school, and I realized how much I've learned in only 2 years. I didn't know how to write or express myself 2 years ago, but now I can, and I realize that nowadays I don't just communicate, I think. Thinking about these, the steps I went through, the goals that I achieved, I decided to talk about language learning and neuroscience. I may not be a specialist, but isn't that about sharing ideas, tips, experience, methodology, etc.? Well, these are my observations. Now, without further ado, language learning is an impressive trick that humans achieve without effort in childhood. But have you ever asked yourself what happens to your brain when we learn a second language, and how can we embrace this knowledge to become more efficient language learners? For a better understanding, I decided to divide this data into 2 parts, the brain parts and the way we learn. Both parts are constantly connected, but when we divide them, it's easier to understand. So, the brain parts. Our brains are adaptable to the environment, situation, and opportunities, and this is known as neuroplasticity. That is the heart of language acquisition. Even though languages are complex to be learned with rules, grammar, morphology, syntax, and etc., the learning process is something natural to the brain, especially if you're learning on an immersive environment, because the acquisition will be complete. Bilingualism has also impact on the white matter of the brain. That is a system of nerve fibers which connect all 4 lobes of the brain, helping your brain to learn and function. The bilingual brain can also improve non-linguistic skills, such as problem solving, decision making, and greater focus. It can also help you to have more creativity. Now that we understand the brain's inner workings, let's explore practical techniques that take advantage of this knowledge. From what I observed, I believe that I learned English from some steps that I will explain through pillars. So, pillar number 1 is set clear goals. You need to ask yourself some questions before you start learning a new language so you don't get lost in the process. For example, how are you going to learn this new language? Why do you want to learn it? And how are you going to measure your progress? Pillar number 3 is speaking. Speaking one of the most important skills when it comes to learning a new language. While reading, writing, and listening are all important, the ability to communicate is the ultimate goal for many language learners, because it improves cultural understanding, influence, and it can also increase your confidence. Pillar number 4 is immersion. But Camila, what is immersion in language learning? Immersion-based learning means learning a new language in the most authentic and natural way possible, because it allows you to truly experience almost all aspects of your life in the language you learn. Pillar number 5, and the last one, is embrace mistakes. Embrace mistakes is the best way to learn because it's the best way to learn. Period. Just kidding. We can eliminate mistakes altogether. They are part of the process and they are part of human nature and an important part of the process. As we conclude our journey to the neuroscience behind language learning, we find out that our brains are indeed remarkable learning machines. By understanding the brain's inner workings, we can unlock our true language learning potential. Thanks for joining today.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Maria Fernanda, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of education and how can we give everyone the opportunity to gain knowledge. One day, my dad said one sentence, and it stayed in my head. The sentence was, "The only thing no one takes away from you is knowledge." I kept thinking about this, and I saw it, that the ones that have more knowledge are the ones that went to school. I'm not saying that the ones that didn't have the opportunity to gain knowledge don't have any important things to pass to us, but you guys are going to understand what I'm saying. When we go to schools, we don't learn just math, science, or geography. We learn how to socialize, how to be in a part of a different group, how to respect each other, how to have a critical thinking, and how to understand that in our world, people will be not the same as you. I believe that kids need to go very early to school, because then when they grow up, they will have an adulthood and a critical thinking better. In a lot of countries, kids go to school not just to socialize or to gain knowledge. They go to have the first meal of the day. And with this, we can see the stereotypes of places and people in our world. But it can happen everywhere. In Brazil actually happened this. Here in our city actually happens. Another important point that UNESCO talked about is that more than 745,000 adults are illiterates. And this means that more than 20% of the whole population don't know how to read or write. And this happens because of when they were kids and didn't have the opportunity to gain knowledge. But the big question is, how can we give everyone's opportunity of education? In my opinion, the ones that have more power about this are the governments, because they give us structure and security in our lives. But we can do little things too to help the permanence of the kids on schools. Like the teachers of the schools can provide activities that will entertain the kids to make them want to learn more. The principals of the schools can provide us good materials and good structure. The parents of the students can be more participative on their lives and be proud about them when they do some activities. And us, the students, can be responsible and take care of our environment. Another important point too that we don't say about, but UNESCO also talked about, is that more than 1 million adults don't have a university degree. And this happens because of impacts of when they were children. Without a university degree, the chances to get a job, it will be much less than the ones that have a university degree. And if people don't think about this, our world will never get better. In our near future, it will emerge our knowledge to some new jobs. And these new jobs, it will be mostly about the technology. And technology is a difficult point in our world because it's a new thing. And if we don't have the critical thinking and the knowledge to pass through these jobs, our lives will not be better. And if people don't care about this and don't understand the difficulty of these kids and these people, our world will never get better. I wish everyone could have the opportunity to gain knowledge. And I wish all the schools could have the opportunity to pass all the content in our world. And with this, I think we will have a better world. Thank you.
Have you ever asked yourself why economy is driven by business? Hi, my name is Valentina Facuri and I'm going to talk about business. And the reason about why I'm talking about this topic is because I love business. And since I was little, my dream was to be a businesswoman and travel through the world doing business or something like this. And recently, I've been researching about it and discovered incredible things that I really wanted to share with you guys. So to start, I may say that business is not only about profits like lots of people think, but it's the activity of producing, buying, selling, and providing goods and services to solve people's problems. It also encompasses marketing, management, finance, and operations, and it can also range from small shops to large corporations. Now let's see. A lot of big companies filed for judicial recovery, which is a legal process that allows a company in financial difficulties to reorganize its activities and debts, aiming for its financial recovery, trying to avoid bankruptcy that will only be declared if one of three cases occurs. But it's not that simple. It also needs to be approved by creditors and courts, otherwise it will not be declared. Lack of planning and poor administration are what causes judicial recovery. So, to prevent it, it's necessary to stay focused on improvements and on practices such as financial management, diversification of product and market, and search for strategic partnership. This last one is really important, and you're not going just to use it on business, but in your personal life as well. Because a person or a company that knows what you are doing or planning to do, or they can help you or really ruin you. For example,
Imagine you're going to launch a soda brand and you have there beside you a company and or a person that know all the things that you are doing and going to do. Or they can help you, giving you some tips and advices and trying to launch the brands earlier, or they will ruin you. At the first time, he will seem to help you, but after 3 weeks, when you go to the supermarket, you're going to see lots of your sodas but on your friend's name. Now let's talk about goals. In business, goals can encompass values, but for me, the most important is to have strategies so you can balance your really important goals that are profit and fulfill clients' needs. Because you can't just think on profit, because you can't sell a cheap thing as an expensive thing because clients don't like this, and if you do this, you're not going to have a good brand. But you can't just think on fulfilling clients' need because clients like good things but sell us at a cheap thing. And if you do this, you're not going to profit. So you need to have this balance between the two of them. And now I'm going to pass you to give you some tips and after one advice. So tip number 1 is organization and plan. Being organized will help you to construct a successful marketing. Tip number 2 is keep detailed records. Keeping detailed records will help you to move on. Tip number 3 is understand the risk and rewards. Because you can't just do the first thing that you have on mind and think it will not have consequences. Because if the other company is doing corruption and they are profit, it isn't just because of them that you need to do corruption. If you're doing the right thing, just wait that your time will come. Tip number 4 is learn about competitors. Learning what your competition is doing or planning to do will always help you being a step in front of them. Tip number 5 is stay focused. Okay, if you have your family, and yes, they are really important, and they need to be in first place of your life. But when you are at work, you need to be focused there, because the whole company can be depending on you. Tip number 6 is being creative. Being creative will always help you to have different products, and having different products will help you to have a famous brand. Tip number 7 is expand market. Because imagine you live in a city and your whole family live in the city, but you receive an opportunity of opening a shop in the business city of your country. And you can't just get this opportunity and throw the trash just because you want to spend your whole life in one city. You need to analyze it and after see if this opportunity is good or not. Because you can just think on you first and after your company. And tip number 8 is the clients will always be right. It doesn't matter. It will always be like this. And the advice that I wanted to give you guys is to always have a goal. Because you can't buy all the materials and all your project constructed and you just say, oh, I don't have a goal. No, because your goal will be the base of your project. So we are going to construct your project and see the work and your goal will be the base. And if you achieve your goal, good for you. It is really important. But when you achieve it, you just need to do another goal. Because you are going to do goals until the whole project is done. And my goal here was to give you guys these tips. And I really hope I have achieved my goal. But before it ends, I just wanted to say that in business, success is not only measured by profits, but by the impact you give in people's lives and the world we share. Thank you.
Good evening, I am Eduarda and I will talk about apples. Apples represent my magic, immortal and growth. Maybe they have many other meanings about the world and throughout the story. You may be thinking, why am I listening to a TED Talk about apples? Honestly, I don't even know why I chose this theme. Just one day, I was thinking a thing for TED and my mom said, Doodle, go with a fruit. And until that time, I started to think what an image of an apple come to my mind when my mom said fruit. And I also think a lot of meanings apples can have. So, with that reason and with no reason at all, this will be my talk. One of the apple's meanings and symbols is related by Newton. Everyone here already heard about Isaac Newton and the apple that fell down to his head. Sorry to disappoint you, but Newton don't have the idea of the gravity theory just because of an apple. They was already thinking about that before. These just organize the thoughts and finalize the process. There's apples are symbols of knowledge because are symbols of answers, and that's why students give apple to their teachers. Another mean that apples can have is the romance and fertility. This because when men give apple to women to conquer them, and these apples is called cat apples. They're still popular today. I can talk about apples and don't mention the whole story about Adam and Eve of the first book of the Bible, Genesis. Adam and Eve is the first man and woman created by God in the Eden's garden. They have just one exception. Don't eat the forbidden fruit of the knowledge tree. Ever disobey God and eat the forbidden fruit. It's not determined when apples is represented by the forbidden fruit, but since the Middle Age is like that. Coming to the contemporary age, apples becomes a brand, and Steve Jobs created the biggest business of technology. They think like that. They were walking an apple farm and start to think, oh, apples are fun and naughty today name. This is the name of my business. And now, apples becomes a symbol of modernization and technology. I taught for you 4 different rules of apple. The knowledge with Isaac Newton, the romance with cat apples, the story of Adam and Eve, and the modernization technology with Steve Jobs. If you like my mom and loves fruit, specifically apples, you should know that apples are rich in fiber, vitamin C, B1, B2, B6, potassium, antioxidants, and their growth is eliminate cholesterol. They are found in the south of Asia and have 4 types of apples: the green apple, the yellow apple, the red apple, and the black apple. It's more purple, but it's called black apple. And so thank you to listen my develop of a simple thing, and bye.
안녕하세요 여러분. 저는 교수선입니다. Hello, my name is Laura, I'm 13 years old, and today I'm going to talk about the Korean wave known as Hallyu. I chose this theme because I really like South Korea culture, and nowadays people are listening and watching South Korea things. So, let's start. The Korean wave refers to the global popularity of South Korea's cultural economy, exporting pop culture, entertainment, music dramas, and movies. The cause of Korean wave was first driven by the spread of K-dramas and Korean cinema to China and parts of Southeast Asia following the rise of satellite media in the late 1990s. But Lauro, South Korea culture doesn't have an impact in the world. We're still talking about it. Yes, South Korea culture has an impact in the world, and Korean popular culture has had a significant impact on the global fashion industry as an increasing number of Korean celebrities that are included in the social fiber of fashion. You guys can even ask me, Laura, why is the world so obsessed with K-pop or Korean things? So, it's because Korean wave involves a global spread of likes of South Korea's perfumes, clothes, and many other things. People around the world falling in love with Korean skincare products, Korean makeup, Korean clothes, and other things. People are getting so obsessed with it that they're starting to learn the Korean language. Actually, this is something that I'm proud of. I started learning the Korean alphabet in January of this year, and today I can read Korean and speak some things. So, have you ever seen the really pretty makeup products or the really good skincare cosmetics that you wanted to buy? I'm sorry for telling you, that was probably Korean or Asian. So, I'm pretty sure probably most of you don't like K-pop or Korean dramas, but probably like you're used to or still listen to some Korean songs or K-pop songs many times a day, for example, Gangnam Style. So, something that we can see is that this type of things are coming to our lives in a really slow way. So, people say that they don't like listening to K-pop, but they listen to Gangnam Style or other K-pop song or Korean song. They say they don't like Asian culture or Asian foods, but their favorite food is sushi. They say they love moisturizing face masks, but they don't know that Korean created this product. Imagine if they knew. So people always say that they don't like Asian culture or Korean culture, but they are always using it or listening to it every single day. That was it. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leticia, and today I will talk about ephemeral skill. Do you know what malwares are? Malwares are malicious softwares, like a virus. But do you know what the difference between malwares and virus? Malware is any program or code that is created with the intent to harm to a device. A virus is a type of malware that can spread automatically by copying itself in order to spread to other devices. So, a virus always will be a malware, but there are other types of malware too, like the spyware. The spyware are a malicious software project to spy your web activity and collect your personal data. There's also the ransomware. This one will hijack data without encryption, which means that this program will take their victims' personal files, hostage them, and ransom, charges the victims to establish the access to those files. Ransom means the money that has to be paid to someone set free the person that was kidnapped. Ransomware, spyware, and virus are just of some types of malware that exist. But getting to your question, how I can know that my device is infected? This is an important topic to talk about because the malware can damage your devices and can also access your privacy, like picking passwords, pictures, contacts, and etc. But before talking about this, we have to talk about how your device can get infected. You can intentionally download or install malicious software by visiting a website, link, app, or downloading a file. The people who create this malware are called cyber criminals. They have a profound knowledge on technology and programming. They are like hackers. Hackers extract information for financial gains or pick up the victim's personal information to use themselves. Do you know what was the biggest attack hacker in history? It was the WannaCry ransomware. This one blocked all Windows systems in May of 2017. The users had to pay to release their systems. But come back to the question, how you can know that my device is infected? Firstly, it's important to you revise your device and see if nothing is suspicious. If you find something suspicious, disinstall it. I recommend you to install an antivirus app. This will make it harder to access your device. Thanks for watching.
Firstly, hi, my name is Maria Eduarda, and before I start my talk, I want to make you some questions. Please raise your hand if you have any electronic devices at home, be cell phones, tablets, everything. Okay. Now, raise your hand if you consider yourself addicted to one of those. Did you know that I have 2 devices per person in Brazil? And that's a lot. A 2 to 5 years old kid shouldn't spend more than 1 hour a day on electronics. A 6 to 10 years old kid shouldn't spend more than 2 hours a day on electronics. And teenagers shouldn't spend more than 3 hours a day on electronics. But 25% of young people around the world are considered addicted because of that. Being addicted might affect many areas in people's lives, such as communication, health, people interaction, studies, etc. The younger generations are stopping to talk or interact with each other because of technology. Some kids during their meals don't share anything with their parents. They don't have family time. And the difference between the generations are that the younger generations are spending so much time with electronics than the older ones. The older ones soon will stop working, and the younger generation will be the workforce. But this can be a problem because they are so addicted that they don't study. And if you don't study, you won't get a job, or at least a good one. We need human beings and not zombies that are addicted to internet. And if you don't want to become a zombie, here are some tips. Have hobbies that you like, can be anything. Learn different things, can be Spanish, everything. Restrict time to internet. Can even set up an alarm clock or use apps that help restrict time. Human interaction. Sports that you can make sports that you like. But if you don't like sports, it's not my problem. But honestly, it's my problem. It's your problem, don't you think? Bye.
So, did you know that schools that let the students wear whatever clothes they want, and those that demand the students to wear uniforms, they apply the same thing but with different techniques? Hi, my name is Laura Leonardo, and today I would like to talk the art of self-expression, how fashion can be a statement.
So let's go a little bit deeper to understand the statement that schools apply to students. We know that our clothes is the reflection of our thoughts and emotions, and is evident even from a physiological perspective that our clothes impact on our self-confidence. But it's not about how we view ourselves, but how others view us. So this means that I can trick someone with my clothes quite a bit. The way we dress impacts our self-confidence, our values, beliefs, who we are. So I would like to emphasize a famous phrase: dress for the job you want and not the job you have. If you didn't understand, I would like to explain to you. So, have you ever worn a costume? When we are wearing a costume, we are pretending to be someone else, something that we would like to do. And when we are working, we are doing something good for our future. So it's the same thing. Costume, we are pretending. When we are working, we are pretending to be something that we will be good for our future. So, you know something that is similar of both of them? Our clothes. Our clothes connect all of our things. So, schools that let the students wear whatever clothes they want, they stimulate the creativity and individuality from the students by anything. Their clothes, their accessories, anything that they like. But schools that demand the students to wear a uniform, they apply the creativity and individuality from the students just by accessories, not by clothes because they use uniform. So, now that I have explained this for you, do you think, just to be on your mind, do you think you use uniform is good, bad? What do you prefer, using uniform or not? Even though you need to use uniform, what do you prefer, just to be on your head? And do you think you are stimulating the proper thing about yourself? Are you saying who you are by your clothes in a proper way? So, did you know that the color of your clothes can affect your mood? For example, you like to use black, red, white. But do you know that even when you are happy, you probably will be differently than when you are sad? So you will be more shiny, you will be more sad. What do you think? Our emotions is different, like our color, like our clothes. So to finish my data, I would like to say, we can follow trends, we can follow behaviors, we can follow anything that we like, but we cannot lose our sense. Thanks for watching my TED.
Hi, my name is Sophia, and I will talk about how dogs became our best friends and how they communicate with humans. Have you ever thought how dogs became so loving and loyal, and in most cases, are our best friends? They evolved just like humans, and now I'm going to explain their history back in the Paleolithic era. They were wolves, wild, dangerous, and not trustable. They were our enemies. Wolves tried to hunt us, and we tried to hunt them too. More forward, humans started to domesticate them to hunt, and because of that, we started to get a strong relationship with them. By this time, wolves were evolving and getting different shapes. And today, dogs are considered humans' best friends. I personally think that dogs don't speak because that's a way to show that love can be demonstrated by actions and feelings and not just by words. But at the same time, we must think that the fact of not speaking doesn't mean that they don't communicate with us. Quite the opposite. They communicate with us more than you imagine. Now, you must be thinking, how do they communicate with us if they don't speak? They bark. Barking is the way that dogs communicate with other dogs, but they also learned how to communicate with humans by barking too. If a dog is barking, it can mean that he wants something or that he is intimidated. They growl. Growling can mean that the dog is happy, afraid, or mad, and growling can be the signal that the dog will bite you. Biting is an instinct, a reaction to something. If a dog bites you, he was probably trying to protect himself, his puppies, or even his tutor. One of the main ways of communication is their eyes. They have the most unbelievable shiny eyes when they want something, and it's easy to realize when they made something wrong by their looks, right? Dogs can also express their feelings and emotions by their bodies. If they are happy, they might jump or wag their tails, and if they are afraid, they might lower their tails, their ears, and contract their bodies. If a dog is quiet, isolated, and contracting his body, means that he's not okay, but he can also express that by crying. Crying can mean that the dog is in pain or that he wants something. Being around dogs can help people reduce stress, ease loneliness, and help vision-impaired people. Dogs can make you a very happier person. If your dog is very close to your body and licking you, can mean that he trusts in you and feels safe by your side. My dog is a Maltese and his name is Tobias. He's one of the best parts of my life and he makes me happy every single day. My favorite part is when I arrive at home and he wags his tail to me. Thank you.
Who here has a pet? And did you know that an animal is born with this instinct? My name is Laura and I will talk about animals' instinct. What do you understand about instinct? And did you think that our pets understand our rules all the time? Instinct is a condition that is born with the animal. It causes it to react automatically and without thinking to preserve its survival. Not just animals' life, but her babies and her species as well. When an animal is born in the nature, they learn from each other. And when the animal is in contact with the human, they learn from these relations as well. Being conditioned. For example, eat and pee in the right place. Most science agree that dogs and cats are conscious beings. This means that they do not act automatically all the time. They sometimes know what they are doing. Everything I say so far reminds me of an experience not a very good one, but I am going to share with you. One day I was studying for my test and before going to the bed, I kissed my dog goodnight and she didn't go very well. She ended up biting me and it wasn't the first time. I believe that she felt danger or something like that because I know she loves me and she knows that she is safe with us. My experience showed me that animals, even domestic, do not control their instincts all the time. Has anyone here even been bitten by a pet and got angry? If this happens to you, try to remember that we are animals too. But different from dogs and cats, we are 100% rational. Thank you.
Guys, Laura just finished our sequence of presentations saying that we are 100% rational. And you guys can imagine how difficult it was for the girls to be here. And they were unbelievably awesome. Girls, you improved so much. You were so brave and they were awesome. So let's celebrate what they did here today because it was unbelievable. I'm pretty sure that none of us would ever be able to do what they did today. So thank you for coming and congratulations for the girls!